is going on, all of my YouTube family? I hope you all are having a wonderful day. This is the long-awaited, finally coming out, ATI TEAS test preparation that you have all been waiting for. So we're going to do things a little bit differently. We're going to break it down by the category that is presented in ATI TEAS, and then in each of those categories, we're going to break it down into several parts. So for example, this is the reading part of the ATI TEAS. There will be 4 parts to the reading, and the only reason that we're doing this is it's lower on the time as opposed to making a 1-hour video about specifically each separate thing that's covered in ATI TEAS. That way you can study just the particular parts that you're having problems on and hopefully get that ATI TEAS passed the first time. So let's get started. Before we begin, if you are new to my channel, make sure that you hit the subscribe button as well as the bell to get notifications when I do post. I do post new ATI TEAS content every Monday up until the point where we finally finish it and you pass your ATI TEAS. Make sure that you like this video. It lets others know that I'm doing a good job and really helps out my channel. And of course, share this with your friends and all of your other pre-nursing students that are really interested in starting their nursing journey. So to begin, we're going to kind of have a discussion about what text structures and writing styles are. So on the ATI TEAS, they're going to be testing you on 4 different types of writing. That's going to be your expository, your narrative, your persuasive, and your technical writing styles. So let's just kind of break down exactly what that is. Your expository writing describes a topic and it explains its features. Narrative is writing to portray a series of events. When you've got persuasive, obviously you're trying to convince your audience of your particular point of view. And of course your technical writing portrays complex and difficult subject matter in a particular writing style with accuracy. So let's do an example of what each of those things are. So example number 1. The paragraph is, attending college can be expensive. First, college tuition, room, housing can cost between $2,000 and over $10,000 per semester. Additional expenses make attending college even more expensive. For example, textbooks can cost anywhere between $100 to $1,000 per semester. Second, materials can be very expensive. Paper, writing utensils, notebooks, and other supplies often cost more at the college bookstore than if you went to a retail store. For instance, a package of paper can cost $2 at a retail store versus $5 at a college bookstore. Lastly, there are all kinds of special fees added onto the bill during registration. You're looking at, as a college attendee, might have to pay a $50 fee just for college insurance, $20 fee for activities and school activity fees, $15 for the Student Government Association, and $100 just to park there. There are additional fees if the attendee decides to add or drop classes. The fees can make college seem never ending. So based on that passage, the question is, what is the above passage writing style? You're going to choose between the 4 things that we just discussed: your narrative, your persuasive, your technical, or your expository. So what is it that you think that it is? So the correct answer is D, expository. The passage is an example of expository writing because it describes a subject and then continues by explaining its features. The topic is the college expenses are expensive, and the passage explains why college expenses are expensive. You've got the fees for college, you've got the expenses for the materials, and you've got the fees just for registering for your classes. Narrative writing, this passage doesn't really tell a story, and it doesn't really tell a series of events that happened for that story. Persuasive writing, the author is really not trying to convince you of anything. You know, there is no bias or point of view. And then C, of course, technical writing, it just doesn't really explain anything complex with accuracy and is not really a high structured paragraph. So here is example number 2. Coming in January is an annual summer carnival, and here is why you should attend. Make sure that you note that it's stating, here's why you should attend. First, there are activities for all ages. This year, the activities include a fish pond game for the younger children, beanbag toss for the older children, and relay races for children and adults alike. Secondly, each activity provides prizes such as yo-yos, bug-eyed glasses, and light-up gifts. Winning a prize always adds excitement to any activity. The best part is the costume contest. It's funny to see how children can be creative through face painting and wigs and costumes. Adults and children can laugh and have fun at the annual summer carnival. If you are looking for a lot of fun this weekend, attending this event is worth it. So the question, of course, is, what is the above passage writing style? You've got your narrative again, your persuasive, your technical, and your exploratory. And as you guessed it, the correct answer is B. The author's intent is to persuade the audience to attend the annual summer carnival. The topic is an annual summer carnival, and the author gathers reasons why you should attend. 1, there's activities for everyone. Each place has prizes. And lastly, there's a costume contest. Why wouldn't you want to attend? So A really wouldn't be the correct answer because it's not really a narrative. It doesn't relay a story and describe a series of events. C is really not a technical passage because it doesn't really provide anything technical by nature, and it's not complex. And then of course D is not an exploratory because the author doesn't simply just give information. They're persuading you with the information that they're giving you to attend the summer carnival. If you're interested to see more examples, I want you to head over to my website at www.nursecheung.com, where there's additional questions that go over different examples of each writing style that will help you in regards to your testing when you take the ATI TEAS. So we've broken down the different types of writing styles. Now we're going to talk about rhetorical intent. Rhetorical intent is closely related to the 4 different types of writing styles, but it's a little bit different. It's broken down even further. So in rhetorical intent, you have entertainment, expressive, informational, and persuasive. So let's go ahead and start breaking these down a little bit more. So entertainment writing is intended to provide the audience with some kind of entertainment. Expressive writing assists in conveying the author's feelings and providing the audience with a certain feeling of their own. Informational writing is intended to give the audience information on a particular topic. And lastly, persuasive writing, as you can guess, is intended to convince the audience to accept a certain aspect or perspective of the author and potentially take action. So we're going to go ahead and go over the example that we used before regarding college tuition being extremely expensive. So I'm going to flash that question back up here, and I want you to take some time and read it over again if you need to. What is the author's intent for this passage? Is he trying to entertain? Is he trying to express feelings? Is he trying to inform, or are they trying to persuade? And the correct answer is C. The author is trying to inform you of why college expenses are so expensive. A, it's not really an entertainment piece. It's not really captivating you as an audience, so A really wouldn't be the correct answer. Again, B is also not the correct answer. They're not really expressing any feelings. They're not trying to bring out any feelings in their audience. And of course, D is not correct either. It doesn't really make an argument or attempt to persuade the audience why the college expenses are so expensive, and there really is no call to action in regards to that paragraph. And our last example for rhetorical intent, we're going to go back to the summer carnival that's taking place. As we said before, the specific writing style was persuasive. So what do you think the author's intent for the passage is? Is it to entertain? Is it to express feelings? Is it to inform, or are they trying to persuade you? And as you guessed it, the correct answer is D. The author is trying to persuade you. The author's intent is to persuade the audience to attend the annual summer carnival. You've got your topic, which is the annual summer carnival, and the author gathers reasons why you should attend. There's activities for everybody. Each activity has a certain prize, and of course there's a costume contest. So you guessed it, the author is trying to persuade you. And the last topic that we're going to talk about in this video is text structure. So text structure really can be reflected in 5 different types of text structure. You've got your cause and effect, your comparison and your contrast, your description, your problem and solution, as well as your sequence. So let's go ahead and break these down a little bit further. Alright, so here's the breakdown of our text structure. So we have cause and effect. It explains an outcome and a result of a particular cause. Comparison and contrast. You know, you're discussing similarities and dissimilarities between two or more additional elements within the passage. You've got your description. That, of course, is explaining a topic or an event in kind of like a general way. Problem solution establishes a problem and provides a solution to that problem. And then lastly is your sequence text structures. It conveys an idea, and in order to convey that idea, describes a step of processes that that person takes within the passage. So let's move on to a couple examples of how this works on the ATI TEAS. So for the first example, I use my own personal life in regards to my puppy dogs to kind of convey this message. So listen up. Although I raised Chubby and Chewy from puppies, they are completely different personalities. Chubby is a 3-year-old male Maltese, whereas Chewy is a 3-year-old male Shih Tzu Bichon mix. Chubby is small and soft, unlike Chewy, who has thick fur and is slightly bigger. Chubby is tremendously loyal and sometimes a little mean. However, Chewy is friendly to everyone he meets and sees. Given that they are both treated the same way all their life, it's hard to believe that they are so different in everything it is that they do. Which of the following structures is used in the above passage? Is this a comparison and contrast text structure? Is it a cause and effect? Is it a sequence? Or are we looking at a problem and a solution? And as you guessed it, the correct answer is A. It is a comparison and contrast text structure. It highlights both the similarities and the differences between my two puppy dogs. So moving on to example number 2. In the early 1800s, the United States needed room to grow. The problem was most people lived in the East. The cities were crowded and new lands were expensive. Young families couldn't afford to purchase farms. Then, as a solution, the United States purchased land from France. The government acquired land from Mexico. Soon, the country has stretched all the way to the Pacific Ocean. People looked into the setting sun and outstretched arms and said, you know what? Go west. Settlers rode in wagons or on horses. Then railroads were built that stretched from the East Coast almost to the West Coast. The railroads made travel faster, bringing people into the new lands. So what of the following structures are used in the above passage? Your comparison, your contrast, your cause and effect, your sequence, or your problem and solution? And the correct answer is D. It is a problem and solution paragraph. It delivers a problem and showed that there was a solution. So none of the other ones really made sense. Comparison and contrast, they weren't really comparing or contrasting anything within that passage. Your cause and effect doesn't really focus on one cause as well as the variable outcomes from that cause. And of course C, it's not really a sequence structure. It doesn't really explain any steps within a process or doesn't present anything within a chronological form. And that is the end for the first part of the 4-part series for the reading portion of the ATI TEAS. I hope that this was helpful for you. If you have questions, make sure that you visit my website at nursecheung.com. There's going to be a lot of answers there. However, if you're still struggling a little bit and you need some help, please leave a comment down below. I love answering your questions, and I love to hear your experience in regards to ATI TEAS and if this is really helping you in regards to your studies. Until next time, I hope you all are having a wonderful day, and I look forward to speaking with you again soon. Bye!